r/AskReddit. What's the dumbest thing an ex ever said to try and win you back? You'll never be with anyone like me. Well yeah. That's what I'm sure hoping. Edit. Wow. Thank you so much for the gold. To everyone for contributing. I came into work this morning feeling sick and gross and this has cheered me up immensely. Good. You promise? If we break up, it's just a matter of time before you ask for your laptop back, and I use it for school, so I'm going to have to drop out, and my kids are going to be raised in poverty. Do you really want that on your conscience? Edit. I lent him my extra laptop before I realized he bleeds all the women in his life drive all their resources. I wasn't about to let him keep it after the hit he put me through. I got my laptop back when we broke up, and he destroyed the power cord and messed up the laptop to the point that it wouldn't run. I fixed it, but lesson learned. Done. That's some fine crazy logic right there. At school we asked to be let out of science early one day and our teacher said no. Or else he would go to prison. Why? We asked. Because if the rector sees you lot walking past during school hours he will fire me on the spot. I'll go home angry and kick the cat. Then my wife will start yelling at me and I'll hit her too. She'll call the police and I won't go down without a fight. He actually did end up letting us out early though. I just miss the boy I used to know. Then she turned around and walked away. She later texted me. I wanted you to run after me. You obviously missed the part where this was a Nicholas Sparks story and not real life. Oh man. I dated a girl like this. She broke up with me because she wanted to get back together on her birthday. It's not a movie. Finally broke up with him after 3 years. His big gesture to get me back, an email about how he couldn't live without me, ended as follows. I get now that you're not a whore. That's why I treated you the way I did. I thought you were a whore. But now I see you're not. Wow. Be still my beating heart. And people say that romance is dead. Romance isn't dead. It's just no longer the initial start to a relationship. First you'd find a girl, woo her, and the court her. Now you find a girl, try not to seem like a weirdo, hang out for a bit, and then date each other. Wooing someone is too much of a commitment in an age where people have a ridiculous amount of options. You can't go around professing your love for someone every other day. It would seem silly. But in an age where there are maybe a dozen other available girls that are available to you, it makes much sense. You gotta lock that hit down somehow. I just don't think either of us have the right mental states to date other people right now. Come home please. Bring McDonald's. I know this must have been frustrating for you, but I love it. The presumption. It's breathtaking. Are you loving it? I know I cheated. But your peen was better than his. Edit. Well, I come home from work and this hit escalated. Even got gold. Thanks you pieces of hit. I was thinking about you the whole time. I didn't love you then. But I love you now. Itch. You cheated on me 2 days ago. What a coincidence. I loved you then. But I sure don't now. /r/Kamebaxathortoflater. She cheated. I said so long. Get out of my house. She did. Moved in with this guy. She showed up a few weeks later with her cat and some belongings and said she made a mistake. Wants me back because she needs me to take care of her. Sorry. What? You're trying to move in while cheating on me and simultaneously asking me to pamper you? Yeah. This is the part where you silently nod. Grab the cat. Then shut the door and lock it. Proceed to sip whiskey neat while petting your new car. Edit AFAM. If you didn't think cats and cars were related, just listen to them purr. I swear you can't tell the difference with your eyes closed. Step 1. Get cat. Step 2. Close door. Step 3. Step 4. New car. I would have treated you better. Except I thought you'd never leave me. Who says that to someone? Who does that to someone? Edit. After several replies, I began to realize there are a lot of peens in the world who do this to their romantic interests. After a few more I realized it's even more common than I imagined. Not verbatim. But I've totally got that. When they told me, I never thought you'd do it. It was like a very affirming gut punch. I promise I won't try to stab you again. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Quote from guy stabbed. My abusive ex-husband sent me a long, impersonal email 3 years after I left him. My favorite part was, "We should get back together. I don't want to be with you, but by some miracle of God, I might grow to tolerate or even enjoy your company." He was serious. I laughed for about 2 minutes and then sent screenshots to my boyfriend. Those are some world-class levels of delusion. He was starting the abuse before they were even back together. It's the tactic of making them feel worthless, like he was doing her a favor by being with her. Had an ex tell me that if I did not take her back she would sue me. Long story short, I'm now a proud owner of a victory in court. Your Honor, I demand the plaintiff sleep with me and take me to dinner. Objection, Your Honor. Defendant is clearly pandering for the D. Nobody will ever love you like I did. Great. I could do without being loved via a fist to the stomach. Seriously. If I wanted love like yours, I'd still be with you. Sorry that happened to you. But I'm glad you got out of that relationship before it was too late. A month after we had broken up, I started dating a new guy. My ex told me that he would cut his hair to look like the new guy's, dress like the new guy, and act exactly like the new guy if I got back with him. That's just pathetic and sad. I dunno, man. I think a lot of these stories are sad, but not necessarily pathetic. Being heartbroken ducking sucks and people just get desperate. People would do these same crazy negotiations and prayers when a parent dies. Maybe these people deserve to be broken up with. But I still think calling someone who feels like they will do anything and say anything to be with the one they love again isn't pathetic. Just sad that they didn't act like that in the beginning. I didn't duck both of the twins. I only ducked one. Spoiler, she did duck them both at the same time. Nice. My phone rings. Hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm getting married this afternoon and I'm pregnant, so now is your last chance. 2 years later. My phone rings. Hey, I'm pregnant again and getting married again. This is your real last chance. Hey, you'll catch her on the next one. He decided to make a grand gesture for my birthday, which was about 6 months after the breakup. He had a cake made in the shape of Australia. He had it shipped to me in a locked steamer trunk. Keys in the card. All of this was based off of a line from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. She may cry, but her tears will dry when I hand her the keys to a shiny new Australia. This is after I found out that I was the other woman, and I had started to date someone else. It was just painfully awkward. Side note, the cake was dry. That's a lot of work for it to not be moist. That's what she said. I once dated this guy who literally carved my name into his hand. He said he did it because he couldn't afford a tattoo. And when I broke up with him for it, he said, "But your name is carved into my hand." I'm not sure if that was supposed to mean me stay, or if he at that moment realized how stupid he was. I was once friends with a guy who told me he cut my name into his leg after I told him I had no interest in being in a relationship with him. He also told me about a bunch of other self-harm and made me spend a good few nights, including a whole New Year's Eve, talking him out of suicide. Or so I thought. Until a mutual friend stayed the weekend at his house, got a good look at both pristine and unscarred legs and arms, and reported this back to me. Little Itch made the whole thing up because it meant I'd spend hours telling him how much he mattered to people he knew. I was sensitive to it because my family had been extensively affected by it. If I'd had any sense at the time, I'd have called the police round to the family home for a welfare check the first time he did it. A guy who told me he cut his name into my leg. I'm pretty sure you old felt that. I'm just kidding. We are not really broken up. Me, WTF, no, sorry, that's not how this works. Edit, some more info. She broke up with me over the phone, during which I tried to rationalize why, how, what went wrong, etc. I talked with her for a good 30 minutes at least, but she was content on saying sorry, it's over. I rationalized and accepted, and was ready to move on. Heart tender obviously, since the relationship was real for me at the time. At this point is when she said, just kidding. We are not really broken up. I was just testing you to see if you would fight for the relationship. I about lost my hit. No, that's not how any of this works. I hate to break it to you, but your plan backfired. We really are broken up. Because you do not test me like this. Not like this. Reminds me of my first serious boyfriend. I told him I was ending it, and he just smiled and said no. Took me a couple days to convince him I actually meant yes. I had an ex do that for a week in high school. She still met me at my locker and tried holding my hand to class. Like, WTF are you doing? My new girlfriend is terrible. I miss you a lot. Like, I sometimes regret leaving you. You are so much better than her. Just so you know, I'm going to dump her soon. After we go on vacation. Because I'm using her miles to buy my ticket. Like, oh, there are so many things wrong with that. And the vacation was 2 months away. I told him he had made decisions, so I didn't feel bad for the fact he missed me and never spoke to him again. My ex-husband did this to me. I didn't realize how much I was going to miss you. You understand me better. I call her your name all the time. We were so good together. 1 month before the divorce was final. After he left me to move in with his pregnant GF. I just started laughing at him. I couldn't stop. He got mad and left, again. I got I miss your cooking from my weepy ex-husband. 2 months after he moved out. I guess 8 weeks of peanut butter on toast will